All right, we have some sad news. Charlie Sheen, Carlos, uh, Eve- um, Estevez, known as Charlie Sheen, Martin Sheen's son, Emil Estevez's brother, just announced that he's HIV since 4 years. Okay. Knew this video this because my video thing was acting up. Let me charge the thing so it won't go out. Okay. And this is so I'm going to go both angles of this. Of course, it is his responsibility that he should never have sex out of wedlock. Have a bunch of thoughts, shall I say? The porn stars, and I mean, yeah, of course, no offense, he was being a male thought too. So I'm about you need me being misogynist for saying the word thought. But I'm doing this, and the reason I'm saying this because I want the men out there to understand this don't make you a man. Okay. Uh, it's sad that and it's not just Hollywood. I was told at 9 years old to go, after I learned the words to be by my father, to go and have sex. It wasn't for a religion show, my faith and not the perfect world, but I was later on realized that, fornication is not okay. And but of course everybody was back in the 80s were talking about the whole, homosexual sex, and I never had homosexual sex at all. I'm looking straight in your eyes, with my eyes in the camera, and I've never had sex with a man and do not want to and have no desire to. But I get, slandered because I don't act macho, and it is sad that people make stereotypes. But anyway, Charlie Sheen, I'm seeing like folks like Mark Dice going on a rant, not a rant, but like making fun of this man. Read what you saw this and that. Okay, well, let me see why I have a compassion situation, because I also was told that, you're supposed to have mercy like Jesus had mercy. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's wrong to do this thing, but still have compassion for the sinner. Love the sinner, hate the sin situation. But a lot of these folks don't practice that anymore. And it's sad that you make fun of this man. It can happen to your family members. And this is how I know, because at 13 years old, I remember I mentioned on my video about, we were talking about the American Heritage Month, and I was talking about my family tree, and I mentioned my grandfather. Never heard talked about his roots as much, but the family members, other family told me they had Creole in their family, because especially both his parents from Louisiana. And I mentioned that when I went to my cousin's funeral, who I did not know, it was different shades of us. Yeah, different shades. I mean, it was a rainbow of that family. Okay, I mean, rainbow of different phenotypes. And, we're shocked to see these, cause my grandfather was dark skinned, but you can't say somebody's dark skinned because the way they look, they don't have mixed background. Well, the truth matter is, you saw the whole trail of family at that funeral. You see, we are related. And what happened was, when I went to it was at a Pentecostal church. Female pastor was there. I mean, I'm not Pentecostal, I'm a Catholic Christian, but you know what I'm saying. But so I never hit 13 years old. Found out that he had died. That my cousin had died of AIDS. The family don't know. Was not going to. Just not the main family members. They're not going to tell. I don't know how he got it, and what we don't know. Other family members like myself don't know. It was back in '93 when I was going on 14 years old. I was in the 7th grade, going on the 8th grade a year, and I met other relatives that try to find out who my family tree was and stuff. At that time. And that really changed my aspect about folks who have HIV, because, folks would put them down. And I really realized that you have to have compassion, because this is a cousin that I never saw. And the only time I met him was from his funeral. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, hearing about that, and then I met people who had HIV, due to what happened, not this, particular woman, and I don't mention her name or anything, but she got it from her husband. It wasn't from no down low folks, okay? He was cheating on her with a bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? And she ended up catching it. And when she told me this 2 years ago, I was shocked. I was talking to somebody all this time with someone with HIV. She ain't looking, okay? She also was big. Usually those who get the virus and they start to have full-blown AIDS, they start to thin out, you know what I'm saying? They start to look unhealthy and stuff. So I was shocked to see that, and I met people, and it's like, dang, that same year there was somebody mentioned they had HIV. I was at the Benton Harbor Hospital. It was a white dude from California, and he mentioned he had HIV, and I looked and I said, oh, so as I met a woman the first time I met a woman with HIV. Which we had a step family member who had HIV, but that was later I found out that he had it. But there was a white woman that came to our school. I never forget. She mentioned she had HIV. It was shocked to find out that she did. And I start to realize you have to be compassionate with those with HIV. And I understand I ain't compassionate to those who, like, for example, the thought what's her hip hop, and she's on YouTube too. And Thomas, you're talking about her HIV undetectable. She did half of the city. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Now those are ones I don't have compassion with, because you commit murder. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. But when you have people who, even though they did have unprotected sex, it's wrong what they did, okay, morally, okay, but still, don't sit here and make fun, because you can have relatives, you can have your child, you can have somebody close to you, and it's sad that, would you, what if you get through a blood transfusion, or even if you got a cut and you actually you fell on something, especially besides HIV and Ebola situation going on, you have the flesh bacteria. Now, I'm scared of that, that gets in your bloodstream, they eat you up, you know what I'm saying? I pray every day not to get that in any of my enemies. Sometimes the dog forget don't show love, but still I don't wish it on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because that thing is a killer. So that's what I'm saying. That y'all need to stop being self-righteous. Of course it is his fault. I ain't gonna doubt that, because he should not have been sleeping with 500 women or people. Should I say? I don't know if he does swing both ways, whatever. But he still should not have been doing that. He should live a celibate lifestyle. And that's one thing I get mistreated in from the and these guys who have religious backgrounds, but they live a sexual lifestyle. They straight and they have a bunch of women. It's one thing that is very crazy. Both homosexual sex and fornication are both sexual sins and deadly sins, shall I say. But these people pick and choose and think they're God's student. It doesn't want that alone. It's the hypocrisy. And they are very proud. They'll say, oh, I still buy it. And they think that makes them straight men, And that's exactly what happened to Charlie Sheen. Look what happened. He ended up catching HIV. All them thoughts. Okay? You've been a male thought too. Okay? I choose not to live a lifestyle like that. Even if I do become rich and famous, it's not going to change my morals, because I know the consequences of that. But I'm not gonna sit here and make fun of this man, because you can catch it too, even though you're not having sex. If you have a cut, and let's say some blood symptoms was on some material on especially in public where people have germs all over, you might can catch like that too. So it's sad that we got in a situation where people think they self-righteous, rude, cruel, and call themselves Christians. And I'm glad that I ain't the perfect one in the world to say this, but I know this from the scripture that they don't say, Lord, Lord, and go to heaven. You know what I'm saying? They don't walk the walk, talk the talk. You know what I'm saying? And just see Mark Dice's video, you really say he is being condemning, and it's like, you have an ugly, evil attitude. You claim to be a Christian. If you're more out, you know what I'm saying? I ain't the perfect one, but if you're more holy than I do, that wouldn't be in your own character. It can happen to you. It can happen to your family members. They might do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Do what Charlie Sheen does. Regardless they do claim to be Christian or not. We have a lot of folks here in the South that do a lot of fornication and claim to be Christian. Okay? So, trust me, I get persecuted for being a celibate person. Okay? So, it's just sad. So, y'all pray for that man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the perfect one, but I pray for Charlie Sheen. You know what I'm saying? He ain't did nothing to me, you know what I'm saying? And I hope